Okay, we're gonna get started. Thanks everyone for joining us. Just so you know, we are recording this and we're recording this for students who can't make it, and we'll also be sending out the slides that we have here. So I just wanted to say welcome everyone to our MPGHSS orientation. And I'd like to start off by acknowledging the traditional owners of the lands upon which we gather today, the unceded land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging, and also extend this acknowledgement to anyone who identifies as Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander who may be in attendance with us here today, and acknowledge the lands upon which any Zoomies are joining us from today as well. So who are we with our long acronym? So MPGHSS stands for the Melbourne Population and Global Health Student Society. We're a volunteer student society, and we currently have 22 committee members this semester. I'm Hannah, and I introduced myself earlier, so I'm the president of the society this semester. This is Leanne.
Hello, I'm the vice president for this semester.
Yes, we're both doing our MPH and in our final semesters, and really looking forward to seeing you all at our events this year. So as our student society, we aim to provide students with regular networking opportunities, as well as run seminars and conferences. We strive to create an environment that supports the exchange of experiences and knowledge between public health practitioners and students. And overall, we really want to just support the learning journey of all students at MSPGH and ensure that your voice is heard. Amazing. So in terms of kind of what we really do, our kind of four pillars here shape much of our activities. So to promote student belonging and encourage social connection between students, we hold trivia nights. We have an end of year celebration, and we do pretty regular coffee catch-ups. In terms of networking and career events, last semester we hosted our first professional development day event, and this semester we'll be having an alumni networking event as well. And then in terms of supporting student education, we hold specific EndNote workshops that are designed more towards our cohort. And we're also having our first ever mental health literacy workshop this year, which will be a really exciting big event. And overall, attending our events is a great way to get involved and to get to know your peers and to help kind of build that support network that will really carry you through your degree. So I think next we'll hear a bit more about the specific events that we have for you this upcoming semester.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia and I'm one of the events officers this semester, also with Yi, who's here as well. So you've heard a little bit about some of the events that we have, but these are all of the ones that are going to be happening for the rest of this year, which we would love for you guys to come along to. So as you've heard, we have quite regular coffee catch-ups on campus. So everyone loves free coffee, so come and join us whenever you can. And the trivia morning, so this is actually happening in a couple of weeks' time. So we have lots of different events just in the next month. So one of the best ways to keep up to date with the events that are happening, you will get emailed about them, but also on the Instagram page, especially for the trivia morning, you can sign up on there. You're welcome to get into teams yourself, or if you don't know anyone, please still come along to these events, because it's such a great way just to meet other people, and we can put you in teams for the trivia morning as well. And as you heard, we've got the big end of year celebration in November as well, which we get heaps of people coming along to as a really good way to end the year and celebrate with everyone. So if any of these are of interest to you, please come along, and we also love to hear ideas about different events that you guys are wanting to happen as well. So would love to see you guys there.
Thanks, Alicia. So if I can get Karen and Nick to come on board to present the poll questions.
All right. So we've got a cheeky little, where are we? Sorry, wrong computer. So is that Right. Yeah. So if you guys can just join on the left there, the Slido code, should be able to on your phones, and just enter that code, and we'll just run a little bit of a, I guess, a poll as to what everyone's looking forward to the most out of them. There will be another question asking what you're most, what you would like to see as well. So maybe get creative on that going forward. But otherwise, where are we? Can I access the slide on here?
I think this controls the screen.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
We.
The responses will appear when you click.
On quickly. Oh, sweet. Already. Bada bing.
There you go.
End of year. All right. So we're all looking
okay.
severely into the future. We're ready for semester to finish already. Clearly.
And you can scroll as well.
Yeah, right. Cool. Where is the mouse on here?
Everyone likes free coffee.
Yeah, it's a great.
It is a good. It is.
Now go again. For those not from Melbourne, the coffee catch up gives you a chance to learn the tradition of massive coffee snobbery
Yeah.
in Melbourne. So figure out exactly how you like it and then tell everyone else that their way's wrong. Which is Piccolo's elite. Everything else is just too much milk, but it's fine. The Piccolo is going to be in like your tiny little about 45 ml cup
So it's like
or
a shot.
glass. It's a single shot, and then it's like a mini latte with all the coffee of a latte. If that makes sense. And then if you really want to confuse the barista, you ask for an ice piccolo, and they're going to.
gonna hate
I get some weird sideways glances for that one, but it's good. So you don't walk away feeling too heavy. Otherwise, courses, streams, round table discussion. Good shout, just for knowing what's going forward. Again, that's just good one to. Obviously, you guys aren't the only cohort. There's other students from previous intakes and whatnot. So asking them how they find certain subjects or courses. Alumni networking event. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, you get all the
yeah.
you get everyone who's been here before.
Graduates and whatnot.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be very rich.
You'll be hearing from a couple of people
Yeah.
that have already, one of them's in their last semester and the one's just graduated. And so there'll be room today for you to ask some questions. Mental health literacy workshop, I suppose, obviously since COVID, it's a bit more in the limelight, but can we
Yeah.
update this again?
I think it just
No. All right. And then what events would you like to see from us? So this is going to be entry from you guys. Is
Get
there
ready
things
to go.
like, what, do you want to go bowling or something? Is that something that you want to do? No, any social events, anything else you want from us? Like, is it specific subject stuff?
Yeah,
Probably, I think a lot of
anything.
people might use, like, for instance, state as
oh,
what's it called?
This one.
No, there
Sorry.
you go.
I was like, surely an update.
Is it? There's that one.
There you go.
Barbecue, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good shout.
I had thought it'd be like, dog petting.
Dog petting.
Dog petting
Yeah,
event.
just everyone brings their pets along. Nice. Hiking, ripper. I'm heading out to Dandenongs to hike tomorrow, actually. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't rain as much as this morning. Otherwise, we might drown in the Dandenongs.
I
But
think it's not weird.
camping, okay.
Camping,
Yeah. Might be more from like November onwards. It's a bit too cold right now. Movie night, nice. Yeah, great shout. Actually, camping's got a couple good stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
cute.
Good chat for the international students. Yeah, free food, awesome. For the international students, I don't know if anyone's done it elsewhere overseas, but you can do there's free walking tours, which are a great like move, especially if you're doing this as a social move. There's generally a local like pro will be able to show you some sites around and stuff.
There's also the international student orientation. Free food, we do try to cater a lot of our events. That's like the big.
And like the food is better than just pizza. You know?
Yeah.
So we
It's
have,
really good.
we reserve the right to steal our pizza.
That's
But every now and then it'll be like today, you know.
It's very extreme. As well, we give away, most of the time we give away free coffee cups, coffee catch-ups, stylish tote bags.
They're very good to
We have
bags
some
actually.
today.
Oh, yeah. I got one the other day. They're quite hardy. So easy coffee chat. Yeah, I think we've already got a few of those planned. Ripper, I don't think anyone else is typing. So
Yeah.
Ripper. Cheers, guys.
Great ideas, guys.
Wonderful. How to stay updated. Awesome. Whose slide is this? This is you. Sorry for the lack of notice.
Oh, good, no worries. As Alicia alluded to before, if you want to stay up to date with our events, the best way to do it is either through our website. We've put in a lot of work to try to keep this up to date. So when you have a chance, just visit our website, explore our events. We also have a subject review platform that's been released today, so some good resources on our website. You can also stay up to date with our events through our Instagram page. We update our Instagram page the most. It's our most active social media platform. And if you don't have Instagram, that's cool as well. We have a Facebook page, which exactly mirrors our Instagram page. And we also post Canvas announcements. So you'll hear about our events through your emails. So keep an eye out for them. More on our socials later on. All right, have you guys, sorry, give me a second to get my notes up. Was this information presented to you guys earlier today about all the resources that are available to you? Yeah, okay, so I'll just quickly skim through, I guess, select the most important ones that we think are relevant. So there's academic skills, which provides one-on-one advice, workshops and resources to help you develop your communication and study skills. And they'll really help you set up to succeed in your assignments and your career, so on and so on. The library website is also quite useful. There's a discover or search function on there, and you can search for any books or resources that are available at our library. It also gives you access to journal articles as well, which will come in handy for your assignments. Stop one. So stop one is for all of your administrative needs, especially if you lost your student card, you can go there and get a new one. There is the Student Health and Wellbeing Hub for all of your wellbeing needs. There's some information articles there, and it also provides you links to some really good resources, such as the counselling and psychological services. Because you are all Uni of Melbourne students, you get access to free counselling sessions. I think it's up to 6 free sessions. So if you need to talk to someone, please don't hesitate to reach out. What else is there? There is SEDS, so Student Equity and Disability Support. Please contact them if you are experiencing any situation that is impacting your ability to study. So SEDS is not just for students with disabilities, but it could also apply if, for example, you're a parent and your child is sick quite often and you need to take them to the doctor. That's taking you away from your studies. So you should be eligible for some support from SEDS. We also have the Student Legal Service and Advice Office. This is run by UMSU, which is, I guess, the association for all undergraduate students, but this also applies for us as well. So what the Legal Service does is that they can provide you advice and assistance on various legal issues. It's staffed by some qualified lawyers. So issues such as renting, employment law, fines, accidents, etc., etc. And now I'll get Britt to come up and present the rest.
So we also have some student resources such as the Facebook page. So MPGH Students Unimelb. This is a really great Facebook page because it has alumni as well. So past students are on there. There's often jobs and opportunities that get posted on there. So really recommend joining if you have Facebook. People post questions about subjects that they're interested in, hearing feedback about, and a bunch of other things. We've also got the Canvas MPGH student community. So in there, there's course planning information, extensions, health and wellbeing, and capstone preparation stuff, I think, is in there as well. And then finally, we've got GradLink, which I think you may have heard about before. So GradLink is an opportunity for new students at the MPGH to meet other new students and be linked up with a mentor student to receive support when beginning their course. The sessions run for 6 weeks, beginning in week 1, and cover a variety of topics such as selecting subjects and timetables and how to survive assessments and mental health skills. Okay, so now we have come up. We've got a little panel Q&A, like we mentioned earlier. Sure. So this is a really good opportunity for you to pick our brains, and we're really lucky to have 2 special guests join us on
online for this as well. Please, if you're in the room, raise your hand if you've got any questions that come up as we chat on Zoom. Likewise, please use the chat function or raise your hand or just give us a shout. Because this is this is a good opportunity to ask our two guests, Sophie and Kaya, and also us up here, any questions you have about subject planning, course planning, any questions you have about the student experience at the University of Melbourne if you're new to the university or new to Melbourne itself. So please feel free, we will chat away, but feel free to raise your hand and ask any questions you might have, because it's a really good chance. So to begin, I'd like to introduce, is it okay for me to go in here?
Yeah.
No, it's all right. I'd like to introduce Sophie, who's joining us on Zoom. You'll be able to see her on the screen. Sophie's very well known to us here as a previous president of our student society. So it's really lovely to have her back. She's a grad from the MPH program and is working at the moment in social media as a social media coordinator with Melbourne City Mission, with some ventures of her own that we'd also love to hear about if she's willing to share.
And then we've got Kaya, who I was lucky enough to do epidemiology in practice with last semester, but she's in her last semester of the M-Sci-Epi, so it might be a little different to the MPH students, but very useful. We have a lot of subjects that cross over, and she's also involved in the mentoring for GradLink as well, so you might end up seeing a bit more of her there. But, yeah.
I guess to begin, maybe let's start with you, Sophie. What drew you to studying public health, and how has what you experienced in your time at Melbourne Uni affected how you've reached where you are now?
Cool. You too.
Sure. Can you firstly hear me okay?
Yes,
now,
thank you.
You can hear me? All right, beautiful. So I'm a Bachelor of Science graduate from the University of Melbourne, and I was initially thinking of going into medicine, and I realized that medicine was working with one-on-one patients, that it wasn't going to have that system impact, and the same patients were going to be presenting with the same health conditions. And so when I did a little bit of research, I actually found the Master of Public Health probably only about 2 months before I applied. And I found that that was really where I felt that I could best use my energy and my resources, creating systematic change to kind of stop some really, especially non-communicable diseases presenting in medical clinics. So that's how I started. But as I studied more, I'm actually doing my final subject, like right now I'm doing non-communicable diseases and global health. And I realized that there is so much great work happening in public health, but there are some issues in knowledge translation. And that's how I've kind of found myself in the interface between communications and public health. And I think studying the master's has given me a really great oversight of kind of the systematic challenges that we face, the commercial health, and kind of what we're working against as public health practitioners. So it has kind of helped me just see the health landscape differently and really know what we're working with.
One sec, we're having some lights stuff there.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you very much, Sophie. And how about you, Kaya?
Yeah, so I too did my Bachelor of Science at Melbourne Uni, and I did mathematical biology in that, but I guess I always came from a maths background, which might be a bit different to a lot of people who choose to do EPI or public health. But yeah, so I finished that in 2020, and I'd done some things like infectious disease modelling and stuff as part of that undergrad, but hadn't really explored EPI and public health in depth. And yeah, I mean, I actually worked as an IT consultant at a bank for a year in between, which did not suit me at all, just wasn't interested in the field. And of course that was 2021, so there was a lot going on in terms of COVID and everything. And I kind of realized that I was still interested in that side of things. And I had a friend as well who was doing the Master of Science EPI, who just said it's really interesting, really fantastic. And yeah, I mean, when I started it, I definitely learned a lot more about how EPI covers both infectious and non-infectious diseases, and the public health side of it as well, which I hadn't previously been exposed to. And yeah, it's been really interesting. So I'm in my final semester now. So doing a research project, which is part of the Master of Science EPI. And I've got, 2 coursework subjects this semester as well.
Cool, wonderful. Obviously, post-COVID, a lot of stuff is either dual offered or it's online or in person. In terms of study experience, is there anything there that you guys found like benefits to online or benefits to in person, or would you change how you take your subjects if you were to do it again? To either of you first. Go for it, Kaya.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of went with the approach of when there's something offered on campus, I'd do it on campus. Then that way I got to meet people, and if you've got a group project that you're doing and things, you can actually work in person with the team. And I found that really beneficial, being able to talk directly to the tutors, meeting other people in the course, and things like that. But I mean, the online, I did quite like the way that modules are often set up, that you do the short video lectures and the readings before the tutorial, and then you have the tutorial as the kind of one classroom based activity of the week. That worked really well for me. But so I think having that sort of balance of being on campus enough that you kind of feel part of the course and the community, but being able to do things in your own time as well worked quite well.
And Sophie, did you have a particular approach to your course planning or to your subject selection? Was there anything that you any advice that you'd give to these students about how to go about course planning?
I would definitely say don't stress about streams. There are a lot of things that you can do in public health, and not all of them are offered as streams. I was really interested in kind of health promotion and the design of health promotion programs, and a lot of my friends went down this route as well of picking and choosing actually subjects that interest you. There are definitely certain streams that are really important. If you want to do epidemiology or biostatistics, that's some really hard skills. But if you are looking kind of to try a bit of everything and potentially go into program design and implementation, just take the subjects that interest you. That was a really big stressor when I first started. And then I realized that employers, generally speaking, don't really care that much. If you can get practical experience in the things that you're interested in, if you can get experience in community engagement and program design and implementation, then that is worth a lot more than majoring in a particular stream. So I just picked and chose whatever interests me, basically. And within those subjects as well, if I had a really big interest in subject, but in all my other subjects, all my essays were so you can really, is my connection cutting out
a little bit?
Are you able to turn your video off? That might help. Yeah, maybe.
Yes, we've just lost you for a second, but it's a good chance to remind everyone here.
And there's like no signal.
Try again.
Perfect. Yes.
How much of that did you? Yeah. Basically just saying that if you have a really big interest in public health, use the kind of less structured essay opportunities to write about those things. And that's how you learn a lot.
Yeah, that was a really good piece of advice that was given to me as well when I started, was to think about balancing content-oriented or concept-oriented subjects with those practical opportunities to have a go at writing a policy brief or have a go at writing an evaluation plan. So yes, I think that's a really good point, Sophie.
Good shout. Is there any particular, speaking on the topic of, find subjects that really interest you, are there any subjects that really stood out to either of you as something you'd highly recommend, either just because you think it was really worthwhile career perspective or just highly interesting?
Yeah, I mean, the one that I did that I'd recommend everyone to do was the science internship. I mean, I know that's one of the differences between public health and EPI. In public health, you can choose between the work placement or a research project. In EPI, everyone does the research project. So if you want to do a work placement, you have to do that as a separate subject. So yeah, it was the science internship subject. I did that last summer, and I spent 6 weeks down on the Mornington Peninsula working with the National Centre for Healthy Ageing. And I was doing data analysis for them, learning about the way that they manage and structure their data, actively getting involved in their research. And there's actually just been a paper that's come out of that I've been put as a middle author on, so that's a bonus as well. But yeah, that's just a really good way to get that work experience that's not necessarily given as part of the EPI course. And yeah, I mean, a bit different from the coursework subjects as well, obviously.
I have found that in public health, a lot of the subjects, you get soft skills and you get hard skills. And some of the really good hard skills that I gained were subjects like leadership and management, where you learn how to design and manage a program, as well as Health Program Evaluation 1. I think those two were really great. And then I did do food politics and policy. I'm not sure if it's being offered consistently, but that was also really, really good because that feeds into a lot of determinants of health. So those were definitely my 3 favorite subjects.
Thank you.
Cheers.
And just a reminder, please pipe up if there's anything that you want to ask any of us or these 2 speakers while we're at it. But otherwise, I guess to shift now to other aspects of uni that are equally as important, how did both of you go about getting yourselves involved or building up community or building up a good social network to support you while you have been studying here?
I'm happy to speak to it a little bit. Obviously, I was the president of MPGHSS, and I found that being on committee, I would say probably 90% of my friends came from committee and just going to committee events. So really getting involved in the student society, classwork, you tend, even in group assignments, you see them for maybe 6 to 12 weeks, and then a lot of people kind of vanished and do their own thing. So that was a really great way to actually maintain social networks, is keep rocking up to the events, you keep seeing the same people and you make friendships. So I always recommend that to people that go to all the student society events. You might not always see the same people there, but you will see the same committee members and they're always really nice and always want to make friends. So yeah, definitely credit my entire uni social life to the committee.
We didn't ask her to plug us. Just that was organic. So yeah. What about yourself?
Completely organic, I promise.
Yeah. All right then, cool. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, so I wasn't part of committee. Yeah, I mean,
you guys.
Sorry, guys. Just another endorsement for in-person classes, I suppose. Try now. Go for it.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I guess I had the advantage that I'd done my undergrad at Melbourne already. So I did know quite a few people coming into the course. But yeah, I mean, again, going to the student society events and other student clubs as well, helping. But yeah, I definitely agree, like subjects great for the semester, but often you finish those 12 weeks and then you might, you see a lot less or might not see those people again, depending on if you've got other subjects together. But yeah, I mean, obviously student clubs help you find people who have similar interests to you. And yeah, the student society for those social events as well is really valuable.
I'm pretty sure part of O Week is this week. There is like a bit of a show of all the clubs and whatnot as well later on in the week. So might be a good shout to give it a gaze. Yeah. Any questions? Subject specific? Anything workload specific? No one? Yeah, mate.
For the program management and implementation, which subject?
Between the two? So between project management.
Project management, program management,
So between program management and what's the other one?
project management.
Okay.
What subject recommendations
What elective subjects?
for elective subjects? What would you recommend to gain skills in project management, project design, program management, design, implementation? Any recommendations from?
Yeah, I have a few. So if you wanted to kind of go down that route, definitely do leadership and management is going to be a core. Do program design and implementation, and then I would do health program evaluation 1 and 2. That's a lot around managing evaluation and projects. So that's 4 subjects there. I'm pretty sure it's a stream as well. So if you go on the website and look at the course, you'll be able to see which subjects they recommend as a part of that stream.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, there
Give it
is
a gaze.
on the handbook as well. You can break up subjects under streams, as Sophie mentioned, and I think that a lot of the ones that were just mentioned will be listed under probably under design and implementation or implementation science even. Yeah, so that's another good way to break things down on the handbook. Any other questions? Yes, please.
I have a question about the
Yeah.
Is it better to take a course before it, or like it be or take a course before it, or to take after?
I will ask these two to see if they've taken regression methods. Have either of you done regression methods?
Yeah, so it's a
Yes,
core
good
in
question.
the Maths of Science EPI. So what was the question about it? Just
Yeah, the question was basically, is it recommended to take any courses beforehand to prepare for that one, or if it would be okay to jump straight in?
yeah, I think biostatistics is a prerequisite for that one. But other than that, they're starting very much from the start. So biostatistics is just good to kind of you've used data a bit in the before you go in. But yeah, they're very much taking it right from the start of regression and building up from there. So I would need to check whether biostatistics is actually a prereq. But other than that one, it's fine to jump straight in.
Thank you. It's good to know from someone who's done it. Was that helpful? Any other questions? On Zoom, you're welcome to pipe up as well.
You can also talk to your stream coordinators. Like you can have a one-on-one meeting with the coordinator of your stream. I did that with Helen before I started, and just kind of talk about what you're interested in, and then they can help you kind of plan ahead, because you kind of always want to be thinking about the next semester and the next, because some courses are only offered in one semester, some others.
I'll just repeat quickly. Hannah just had a really good point and a very important one. And something that I would really advise, having done, I'm about halfway through, I've got a year left and I've done my first year. Hannah just recommended meeting with the heads of the streams. They're happy to have one-on-one meetings. That's something that you can set up via email, and there actually is a course planning document form that you can fill out and send to them to sort of say what your interests are and what you've studied so far. I did that in my first semester. I did it in my second. As once you start honing down on what your interests are, they will really be able to tell you what different subjects they think align with your interests, and also sometimes what different subjects actually cover, because that's not always heaps of info on the handbook about that. That's also something that you might want to keep an eye out for our courses and roundtable a courses and streams roundtable event later this semester, which will also be an opportunity to talk to people who are specialising or who have experiences with different subjects.
Looking up regression methods now, it says biostats and EPI1 are both prereqs. So if it's your first semester, so you probably can't take it yet, but you'll have to do, you'll have to do both of them. And considering starters use in regression, I wouldn't walk into a subject that requires prerequisite knowledge of that program without any. It can be a bit intimidating at first, that program. You'll get used to it over a couple of weeks, but I wouldn't go in blind for that first time. But I've heard very good things about the subject, and I'm starting it next week, so it's great.
So obviously, Sophie, you've started working now in the field, and Kai, you're sort of heading towards the end of your degree. How are you both approaching your career progressions, and across your study? Was there anything that you did to start developing your own professional networks or professional opportunities? Any career tips for people starting off in an MPH?
Yeah.
So, sorry, Kaya, you go for it.
All good. Yeah, I was going to say again, that internship subject that I did was definitely that one's definitely one for networking and creating relationships. So, I mean, I know I've kind of said they'll keep me in mind coming into next year if they've got funding for a research assistant or anything. But I mean, I've put in a lot of applications for government graduate programs and things, Department of Health, and opportunities like that. But yeah, I mean, making sure you're talking to your lecturers and tutors. You never know when they might have a research assistant type position or similar, or they might know other people who are looking for graduates and things like that. Just really making sure you're networking with the people who are available to you.
Yeah, that's a really great piece of advice. I know a lot of my friends have ended up in research assistant positions within the university. And it's always a good idea to keep an eye out for LinkedIn and look at the jobs that you would actually want to apply for and look at what they're expecting from those roles, because that's how you know what you need to work towards, what sort of experience you need. So I've been working alongside my master's pretty much the entire time. And I would recommend, I know international students is a lot more difficult, but I would recommend actually working and studying part-time if you can, because in that way you actually get contextual knowledge and get to apply it at the same time. Obviously, as I said, that can be hard to do, but yeah, just keeping an eye out, looking at roles you want to do, talking to people who are working in the industries that you want to work with. I've definitely had several sit-down coffee chats with people in different roles that I really admire, and just speaking about what their career pathway has been.
And as you'll hear as well, if you do the GradLink program, there are also some inbuilt university mentoring programs, including a mentoring program that you can apply for with the MDHS, which is the medical school that our faculty, the Population and Global Health School, our school sits under that medical faculty. So they run a mentoring program that will connect students one-on-one with a mentor that shares similar interests. That's probably something that will happen at the start of the year. So at the start of next year, you can probably look out for that. But there are other similar programs like that to connect students with alumni, including our alumni networking event. But there are opportunities to create those connections as well. So yeah.
I received an email today, actually, from the career counselling part of the school. So they'll reach out. Just keep an eye out for your emails as well, and actually reply to things. It's quite easy just to delete, read it. And I inherited an inbox from the guy who previously had my position. He didn't even open anything. So there's maybe 200 unopened emails in there. So awesome. But yeah, if you keep an eye out, like this one, it's an entire stream where they try and like show you stage to stage of reaching whatever you see for your career, I suppose.
Yeah, the careers department has some great resources, including modules that you can work through independently online. I guess, Sophie, because a lot of people who are studying are working at the same time, and that's why online subjects can be so useful. That's why intensives work for some people. How did you manage that balance between working and studying part-time?
Oh gosh, I don't know if there is a balance. I think I just went really hard on it and acknowledged that I wouldn't have as much free time as I otherwise would have liked. But definitely, if you can also get flexibility, I was able to sometimes pop out on a work day, attend a lecture or two, and then go back to work. So if you can have those sorts of flexible arrangements, that's always really good. But honestly, I think being realistic with my study load, at the end of last year, I was studying, like, I think I was doing 3 subjects and I was working 4 days a week. Don't do that. That's a lot. So be realistic. I always think there's more value actually in working. So just not trying to absolutely bulldoze your degree if you have a really good opportunity to learn through a job at the same time. I guess I was meant to graduate in 2 years. I didn't, but I feel like my experience was enriched by working.
If you have to take your time, take your time. Like, it's not a race, I suppose. Like, if it means you get better scores, your mental health better, over the whole thing, take longer. And the school's happy to keep charging you money for a while. Not to be cynical about it. From Matthew in the chat, I'm wondering if there is any advice for the dual masters advanced nursing practice / public health. I'm getting lots of comms about the PH subject selection, streams and specialization, but feel like so far my enrollment was very rigid. Is this because of the nursing component? Apologies for not speaking out. I'm in the library. Good job studying prior to semester. Well done. Better than me. But yeah, you guys have any answers? There is quite specific, obviously, being the nursing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is most likely because of the nursing component, having the dual masters. There's less space, I guess, for less space for electives and things, because you've just got to fit more into that course. I'm not sure if it's longer because of the dual. I'm not familiar with it, but yeah, I think it'll be because it's a dual masters, it'll be a bit more Richard.
Yeah, sorry that we can't help you out with that, Matthew, but I just heard from Hannah that the course coordinator for that double is Louise. And again, that reach out and make the most of those resources and those people who know what they're on about, but better than we do.
Yeah, they're there to help, and like, it is entirely their job to help, and they want to do it. Otherwise, they don't take the position. So, same with lecturers. Speak to lecturers; like, they want to interact with you. So,
any final questions before we wrap up with our very generous speakers? Any questions?
we're good.
Any last words? Oh yes.
Sorry, we got one. Give us 1 sec. Go on.
Some elective subjects, semester 2 student cannot apply for that specific elective subject. For example, the survival analysis and regression. So in this situation, that goes for the
So for like survival analysis, it's probably because there's a prerequisite. Yeah, it's because the prerequisite subject for that is probably actually the regression subject we talked about earlier. And so you have to do that. And to do that, you have to do biostats. That subject runs directly after the other one. So if you were to do biostats and EPI 1 this semester or next, by the time next year rolls around, you'd be able to. I suppose it's just because if you don't have the prior knowledge, I mean, unless you are a whiz at Stata already, and then you could probably speak to the coordinator. So you just have to complete the prior subjects before. So you probably, I mean, you could speak to someone and ask, but the likelihood is you would just have to wait to do it next year in your second semester, because you would complete the complete the prerequisites like first semester next year, and then they'd allow you in. Do you get what I mean?
But the regression methods are only in the semester.
Yeah, so the prerequisites for a biostats and EPI 1 I can-
Regression method.
Yeah.
And then laser method to finish.
Oh, so I think I get
So
what
I'm
you're saying.
analyzing that advanced.
So survival analysis runs directly after the other regression, right? So it runs 6 weeks, but like in the same semester, it goes 6 weeks, 6 weeks, right? It doesn't run for a whole semester. It only runs for half of it. So if you do biostats and EPI 1, and then when second semester rolls around again,
Then 3 and then 4.
sort of term 3, term 4, if you look at it like school, I haven't thought of it as terms for a while, but yeah, maybe.
Well,
But-
yeah, they are
yeah,
terms. I think
I suppose
sometimes, yeah.
terms, like the first of those two starts next week, prior, like a few weeks before everything else. And then the second regression subject starts in, I think, September, maybe even a little bit after. So you just have to do your EPI 1 biostats, which is now offered as second semester. If you're doing them now, then sweet, next year, semester 2, you'd be good to go.
I guess 2 things to add to that. Helen Jordan, who you would have met this morning, is great to meet for course planning. So that's just to help you kind of map out, because it is 2 years. If you're doing it full time, 2 years is a short amount of time, and it does end up being. But the other thing is, if you do have prior experience in something, or if you do have work experience or a degree of proficiency, you can also email Helen, because sometimes there will be exemptions that allow you to enroll in a subject that otherwise would have a prerequisite. Go for it, Sophie.
Sorry, just something off the cuff that I think would be really valuable to speak about, and I'm surprised it hasn't come up as a question, because when I did GradLink as a mentor earlier this year, it came up a lot, talking about placement units versus research versus public health in practice. This is something that we didn't get told when we started the degree. But if you want to do public health in practice, you need to make sure you're getting over 80 in all your core subjects, and making sure that you're taking subjects that align with the placement that you want to do, because a lot of people I knew didn't know this until about a semester out of starting, if not less, and were in a position where they could no longer do what they had originally set out to do. So make sure when you're picking your subjects, really thinking about, if you want to do a public practice unit, or what is it? I forget the name of what PPU is.
Sorry, the professional placement unit, not the
Professional.
public health in practice, which is the
Yes.
course.
I'm getting confused. Now. But just something to mind. So you need over 80 to do that, and then over 75 to do research. And really consider if you want to do the placement, because they only take, I think, about 5 people each semester, from what I understand. It's very low.
For the research, if you're thinking of doing a PhD in Australia, you need to have done research as part of the degree before.
Yeah, Hannah just mentioned for those online that it is a consideration to choose a research capstone if you intend to do a PhD in Australia, because there are certain requirements. Definitely at Melbourne Uni, I think you need to have completed a certain amount of research to do a PhD. Thank you very much, Kaya and Sophie, for your time and for your wisdom. Very valuable to hear, and I hope that there was something that you got from that, all you people in the room and all you join all those joining us on Zoom. We really appreciate you taking time out of your days for this. It's really valuable. Thank you very much.
Cheers,
I'm
guys.
giving you a clap from here.
No worries. Very proud to see the committee keeping up the good work. You guys are doing great.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Sophie. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
All good, thank you.
No worries. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, and good luck finishing up your courses, your
Yeah.
respective courses.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Zoom, the rest of you on Zoom, please feel welcome to stay. We're going to move on now to, sorry. How do I return to sharing?
Oh, to share.
Sorry, I'm just going to share our slides again.
That one? That one. Cool.
The next
Take care of
slide.
that.
Yep, on the next slide. There you go.
Well, one too many. Boom. Is that it?
It's
All right.
I'm going to Kahoot and then share the Safari.
Second.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go and then share the Safari.
Easy. All right. Everyone, if you can, sorry. Jump on Kahoot on your phone, or Kahoot, I suppose as it's called. Share the Safari, so yeah.
It's called Kahoot.it.
Got IT.
.it,
Share.
yeah.
Bang.
And then
Yeah.
share.
Bang. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's your code.
Audio.
The audio. No?
And then full screen.
And full screen. That's your code up top. Apparently you've got to enter that pattern because I got it wrong the first time. And
Yeah,
it
so
kicks me out.
If you go on www.kahoot.it.
Yeah, and it gives you a randomly generated name. I didn't choose Radiant Glider, it gave it to me. All right. So don't judge me on it. Oh, it starts in 3, 2. I'm not the only one. I didn't choose that. It just did. Give me a sec. We'll go back.
We'll try that again.
We'll try this again. Orientation.
Go back.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm far out.
Sorry, guys.
Appearing. Let me do this again. No.
I think just like close it. Just close it.
Just close it.
Yeah, just close it.
All right, give us a sec, guys.
There's intelligence kids.
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Oh, the music.
No, no.
Yes, get up. Say
We had like less technical issues than this morning. But still stuff.
What-
Some of these weren't our fault.
What happened this morning? What was it?
They just couldn't, well, Helen forgot her phone, she couldn't log in, and
Yeah.
there were like 7 of them up there. so we're
Awesome.
figuring it out.
So we're less than half as many people. It's good. We're doing awesome. Play solo.
Yeah, if everyone.
All right,
Everybody-
get ready.
everybody do- Half of the challenge.
Yeah, it's just logging in. It's being allowed access. They're doing it now.
Make sure you use that.
Speed.
She's a
I
guru.
reckon she's done it before.
Yeah.
I know, okay.
Oh my
There's your
God.
game pin. All right.
Alright, just
Okay.
go on the website. Kahoot it, And then just punch the game.
I kind of.
This is like. Dude, it changes. I don't understand.
What do you mean?
The pattern change.
Yeah, it's like a 2-factor. You know, you've only got so much.
To verify.
I don't,
Go with that.
I just type in random.
No.
Oh, why is it starting? I don't want it to start.
Wait. Settings.
Why is it
Now they can't see it.
Wait.
I think every time someone signs in, maybe it kicks it out.
Yellow, blue, red.
Oh yeah, every time someone joins, it bumps it back
Oh,
up.
yeah. Well, I'll just join when it starts getting really.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Polite
Get
dogs.
ready for it.
What a name.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, I guess the pattern's the hardest part.
It is absolutely the hardest part.
So Kahoot has upgraded their
Yeah.
security system.
I
That's
think,
why.
do you remember over COVID, you had people just joining random like Zoom calls?
Yeah.
So you have to actually go there.
All right, should be good.
Is there anyone that wants to join that's not in? No. Everyone's good?
Did we had prizes.
Yeah.
You mentioned it?
Are you in?
So
Just pull up, wait.
no pressure, but just so
No
everyone knows, there's 3 prizes for those that are in the top 3 in person.
Our
So-
merch is kind of good, guys.
Tote bags, right? Yeah,
Woo!
actually very sturdy. They'll hold a drink bottle upright without falling over.
Best
Great.
tote bag ever. And if you're new to Melbourne, you need a tote bag.
Oh yeah, you cannot walk outside. No, no.
Literally.
All right.
You guys.
You would be fast and right, like speed and accuracy.
I'm not like, I knew it, but I just didn't get it first.
Yeah, time's on the left. So you've only got 10 seconds to go.
Yeah. Oh, not bad.
I think
guys.
once everyone answers, it goes straight away.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
And we'll just show the leaderboard. Brave Dragon, you're doing great.
Nice.
Are we good in the next? Oh, just.
Yeah, I know. All right, question 2.
Gonna find the wrong. I'm gonna click the wrongest answer. Which one's the wrongest answer?
I'm gonna, yeah, there's the wrong
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm hoping it's also the right stuff. isn't it?
So you make sure you choose the wrong.
Yeah. I was like, I give up on the right ones, you know. I'm gonna come
I
bottom.
mean, technically.
Yeah, it's too might be.
Yeah.
It's the image.
Oh, everyone really went for the wrong answer.
Nice.
Better? Yeah.
Which is not a degree. Oh.
It's hard to have to read it on your phone. And
Yeah. Oh, the top's not even legible now. Okay, great.
It's
Yeah, one sec.
what if we just, how do you move it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, what is
Just
mine?
drag it to the,
yeah.
Oh.
In the middle, sure.
How do you minimize this? Hide, floating, meeting control.
Yeah, sick. Ooh.
Zunger. They're doing great, guys. Power goose.
I'm going for a second.
That's not a question.
Is it?
Oh, sorry.
Just give it away. Just give it away.
Woo. Congrats, guys.
Hold on.
Woo. What's it on moving? Oh, power goose. It's on a streak. Okay. It's doing great.
Oh, it's grim.
Shit.
I reckon.
I reckon.
Yeah.
No, I reckon.
What you going?
I reckon.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I reckon.
Sorry.
I think so. I reckon it's this one.
Um,
I don't know.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Isn't it like in most first world nations?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Damn.
Okay. So, like, oh,
Sorry.
that terrifies me.
And we're like, you're not a woman.
I mean, I've just got women in my life that I care about, but also like just. Oh, I don't know. Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna say. I don't know.
oh,
This is a very random.
damn it!
Oh, I think it's right.
That's my first. It's going alright.
I'm just clicking whatever.
Power goose type.
Power goose is
Who's
actually
Power Goose?
powering.
Who's Power Goose?
Powering.
Oh,
Power Goose
okay.
doesn't want to
Humble,
reveal himself.
humble.
You'll see when they win the prize. Oh,
Yeah, I only know because of like that. Otherwise, I'd have no clue.
Troy Savant took pictures here. I thought I know.
I suppose this is a good one. How many people?
Yeah.
Real quick, how many people did their undergrad here?
Yeah.
Few?
Yeah.
That's like a bit of pride.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. New
Ooh,
people on the
Buffalo.
board. New people on the board. That was that really
Yeah.
did it. That
Mm.
one. Wait, really?
Oh, cool.
Do we talk about this?
Oh, I reckon I know that.
I don't know that. I don't know. Oh, we did talk about this.
Yeah.
Oh, and I could. Oh, well. I feel like it's gonna change up the.
Yeah. I don't know, defining. Into it.
Could be. How many questions are there?
Ooh, yeah.
Alrighty. Let's see if the leaderboard changes.
I don't know. Mad Max is a.
Oh,
great
okay,
match, I don't know.
okay.
Oh, top 5.
Good job, guys. You're just gonna click faster. That's the. You're just gonna break fast and click fast.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it's gonna be true. I don't know.
True. Oh, clever rooster.
Come for it.
Clever rooster. Oh,
Oh, this
I was.
feels like we
the
shouldn't
viral.
be allowed to answer if we've already been. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like what?
This is covered in infectious disease epi, by the way. If you haven't done.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah. Talk about it in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fuzzy raccoon. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, was it
You know what would have been a while.
Why do I not know this?
Oh yeah. But is she Hollywood?
She's not Hollywood. She's
Yeah.
Australia based.
Yeah. I don't think Logie's doesn't quite count.
In there.
Yeah. Confusing. Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I did not know. Literally, right?
I think the picture looks most like Angelina Jolie. So yeah.
Yeah, you're just beating
Yeah, that is-
Which country is that? Oh, I reckon it's like, I reckon this one.
But you might.
Oh, I was thinking like Scandinavia. So I was like, that's totally
pretty,
good. I don't know.
I think it's a pretty good idea. I wish we used this in high school. Like this was.
It was so
way
fun.
better.
Yeah.
Damn, no one went Hong Kong.
Damn, guys. And Australia.
No one.
Yeah.
There you go.
We really.
Oh,
I thought it was like, yeah, no, I thought it'd be like the Scandinavians.
yeah.
In which year did the Princess of
Oh, yeah.
Got a dentist in the house?
Yeah, we actually do have a dentist, but I don't know.
Where's the dentist?
I don't know.
What year is it?
I don't know if the Saudi dentist
I
really
don't
teach you
know.
about
I reckon it's-
Australian
I reckon
fluoridization.
it's this
Which one?
this one. I reckon
Really?
it's- I don't know. I just
Oh, I
just
didn't
don't
read the year. I just read the place.
oh shit, I didn't read it.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
shit. Tasmania?
Who was that?
Who was it?
Who's the Tasmanian?
Oh, there.
Oh, yeah, the dentist. All right, there you go. Do they actually talk about it? Bullshit. There you go. Wow.
You
Okay.
can go to the dentist.
Yeah, they know what's up.
Multiple. You can click multiple, guys. Take your guesses. You can click more than one, yeah. Do I? Did all of us actually?
I think it is.
I think they.
I am a pure genius. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah. Oh,
It's a question mark for greatness. It's like, are you?
I think this actually.
that was semester 1 last year.
That's
Yeah, sick.
amazing.
So we do heaps of stuff, basically.
Yeah, we do a lot, guys.
Tons to come to. No, you ain't.
There's only one question left, but you never know.
Yeah, you actually never know. What if we get it wrong?
Oh, not sure.
Not Twitter. Oh, you're gonna be quick. You can be quick.
I know, but
Oh, you haven't.
oh, you have to click submit as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, damn it. It is the last one. Mm.
Are you still at the top? You could be.
Oh, he's dropped. Yeah. Oh no.
We can see the. Oh.
All right.
Can we see who the winners are?
How do we get back and
No.
see it again?
I don't know. Hang on. Let's. All right. Let's exit full screen. Okay, I'm gonna exit this. Maybe I'll stay on it.
Yes,
just in
stay on it.
case.
Came second.
Does anyone remember them? You came second, so really you're first. Well done. Good on you. Is it a choice of?
There we go.
We're doing a choice of for first place.
Sorry.
So they
Let's
get
go
to
first then.
choose
Oh,
which one.
Sure, I can choose.
Diary?
Oh, there we go.
Keep
Need
cup
help?
or tote bag?
But no, that's.
I personally would recommend the tote bag.
Oh, wait, holy shit. Oh my
Okay,
god.
yeah, yeah.
She's not a ticket. New podium. There we go.
Any
That's
round
good.
of applause? Just to be clear, we didn't know the answer.
We
It
actually.
wasn't an inside job for anything. All right.
Who came after?
That was me. So we're gonna.
Honestly-
All right. Wise Oryx. Who is Wise Oryx? Yeah, you played not wrong. I didn't click submit on the second last one. I didn't know you had to. So that's it. Tote bag or
No.
diary. Yeah, good shout. Easy.
Who's the next one?
And who was third? Oh, can you press refresh?
Refresh. Sorry guys, just gonna have to go through the process.
Bloody skip it then.
But it doesn't tell
Does
you
it-
the.
it doesn't show you the last
Yeah, you just gotta like.
Oh, wow.
play it.
Bugger.
Sorry guys.
A final one. No. Let's see. I think we're about to get it.
Sorry guys. Wait, so Britt won it.
Yeah, I won.
Yeah.
I wasn't lying.
Captain Quail. Well done. There you go. Good job. All right, and then what happened to our?
I would just one as well.
I think it's
Yeah,
to
it
unshare. I just
wasn't-
think it's to unshare. If you, I think if you go to
Do I
the
have to
top,
bring that up?
I think it's like, I think you just put your mouse there. Oh shit.
How do you unshare?
I think if you
No,
What do you
not
want to do now?
unshare, because you know how it has the thing at the top, but we're
that.
closer.
Take you to it. Cheers,
Now
guys.
tip-
Thank you for participating in that.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Hope you learned something as well. There we go.
Amazing.
Alrighty, so to wrap up, it would be awesome if everyone who is here today could scan this QR code and just enter your details in our registration form if you haven't registered for this event. It really helps us out with planning future events. So I'll give you all a moment to scan this QR code if you haven't registered already. Yep, seems like most people have scanned the QR code. So while you are filling out the form, I will just talk about our socials. Are we all good at the back? Yep, all right, cool. So as I have alluded to before, we are available on various social media platforms. So if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We post event updates there, all the details to our upcoming events as well. We also have a meme series, so please show us your love and support by following us and interacting with our posts. For those who don't have Instagram, you can like our Facebook page because that's the exact same as our Instagram page. We also have a very useful Facebook group that Britt introduced earlier. So make sure that when you like our Facebook page, that you hit on groups and that you request to join our group. Make sure you answer all the admin questions, otherwise you won't be allowed into the group. But our group has alumni and current students, past students as well. People post questions on there all the time, and also there are some job opportunities that pop up there as well. So join our Facebook group. I've already shown you what our website looks like. So if you need any information about us, hit up our website. We're also available on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. It's not mentioned here, but if you have LinkedIn or Twitter and just search up MPGHSS, we're also there. It's not as active as our Instagram or Facebook, but we're still working on growing that platform and would love all of your guys' support. All right, with that, thank you so much to everyone who is in person today and to those who are on Zoom or watching this recording later. We really appreciate your love and support. So what's going to happen now is we're going to be hosting some social activities. We have human bingo, and we also have what else we have? Speed friending. Yes, so if you'd like to participate in human bingo or speed friending, please stick around. Otherwise, if you need to leave, you are more than welcome to, and we hope to see you at other events. We'll take a 5-minute break, and then if you're interested in doing human bingo or speed friending, we'll come back, probably meet outside the lecture theatre, just in the foyer there, and we'll start mingling and getting to know you all. Thank you so much for your attention.